Alright, and I'm live for I Love Sketchup, issue 69. Spiral Mountain is spinning really fast. So, I have to apologize in advance. I'm kind of like fighting off a cold right now. But I think I'm gonna be okay for this live stream, because I took some Tylenol. Let me just put this down. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna wait like a minute or two before we get started. There's a Nintendo Direct in 2 hours. Are you sure it's 2 hours? I heard that it was at 6 o'clock Eastern time. So, wouldn't that be in 6 hours from now? Hey man, if it's in 2 hours, I'll take it. Although it's going to be on Pokemon, where we're going to hear more disappointing news. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be one of those new Pokemon game naysayers. It's just that this game, it's not really pulling out all the stops for its first console release. They make more money with Pokemon Go, so why would they put any effort or time in any other Pokemon game from now on? And I don't really play Pokemon Go. I'm just stating the facts. Hey guys, wow, you came on at a time when I wasn't at work. Long time no see. Zoo! What's going on, man? I'm going to be doing OC illustrations today. So if y'all can send me some links to your OCs, we can get this started. I just want to know about the sack of potatoes. Water. Oh no, I'm running out of water. Did I put like my bottle somewhere? No, I did not. Curses. Alright, whatever. I'll go get water later. I think that 2 sips... Oh man, that's more like 1 sip. Alright, before I start anything, I'm just gonna go grab some water super fast. Please send me your links to your OCs so I have reference. Either on my Patreon, or Facebook, or DeviantArt. And if you don't have an original character, but you'd like to see me draw something, please, by all means, write it down in the comment section, because I can always mix an OC up with something else, you know? It doesn't have to be, like, totally losing my train of thought right now, sorry. It doesn't have to be something original. Robert, hey man, OCs are okay. Choosy, you know the deal. Send me some links, and I will go get them right away. Starla. Alright, I'm going to start writing these names down. So let's go. We've got a Starla X Choosy. Boy, Robert, you're sure into Choosy these days. I think the past, like, 4 that I've drawn where it's OCs, you were like, Choosy! Please choose Choosy! Send note on D8. You got it. Oh, sweet, here we go. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna have to go deal with the door behind me because there's tons of wind where I live right now. Crazy wind. And I keep smacking that door over and over again. My cat's in there trying to sleep, and it's probably just stressing her out. Yeah, doing a random lunch one sure is random. Alright, let's see here. The next one is... Oh man, I think you sent me 2 links here, Zeno. Oh yeah, okay, we're good. Of course I put this all on the wrong layer. Whatever, I don't care. Yo, Zoo, did you want me to draw one of your original characters? Like, do you have one by any chance? If not, you can just name something that you really love, and I'll mix and match it with these 2 characters that I'm doing now. Hold on a second, I'm just going to switch up my door. How many people have broken headphones sitting on them? That was close. Okay, I'll go check it out right now. Zoo. I'll go check out your DA link. Notes. Here we go. Gotcha. Ka-choo, ka-choo. Gotcha. Hirumi. I'm gonna write her name down right now so I don't forget. Let's just do something like that for now. Good enough. Alright, let's get started on this action. We're either get DLC Fighter 4, Banjo, and Kazooie, or both. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm curious to see what the extra ones are gonna be. There we go, that's better. Man, I'm all messed up. Like, I'm kind of fighting a cold, and my shoulder's killing me because I heard it like crazy the other day. This is what it's like getting old. My class in college had a bad habit of breaking stock headphones due to the cord being tangled around chairs of their legs. Oh man, that sucks. The supply department threatened to stop replacing them if they kept breaking them. That makes sense. This might be too big. Let's try it like that. Ah, all of this on the wrong layer. I'm so fed up. Sorry. Oh, wait a minute. That, that shouldn't have been on the wrong layer. That was on the right one. Hold on. Let's try and put it more like a worm's eye view. So this direct will start at 6 p.m. ET. So that's Eastern time. That's in 6 hours, Zoo. Because I'm in Eastern time, and it's 12 o'clock here. Unless ET isn't Eastern. No, it's got to be Eastern time zone. Hold on. That's 11 p.m. for England. That's late. That's a late adventure. I just got a notification that the creator of One Piece might have plans to end the series. I hope the manga chapters reach a 1,000 before it ends. Yeah, I read that the other day, actually. I was reading about the creator of One Piece talking about ending it. And I was just starting to think about watching it. Maybe by the time I'm done watching all of it, it'll finish. So you're going to put her knee in here. Why would I not show her feet? That's weird. Let's get in there. So I spent the past week working on my next chapter to my comic. I'm finished doing all the base, like, I guess, sketches, like the really, really rough sketch draft, as well as the rough draft to the script. So now I just have to, like, I'm working on doing all the panel layouts for my final panel layouts, and then I'm going to start doing all my sketches on those panel layouts. Alright. We'll give her a tail. Like a big one. Now she's gonna have some wings. Now let's make it come down on this side. Oh man, it's such a light, rough sketch. Hopefully it turns out okay when it's done. Let's bring it in. Give her like some high heel style platforms. And give her a little skirt. Alright, let's get to work on this. 19 minutes for the sketch is long enough. Sweet water. Alright, let's get started with the face. I have a feeling that it will. It'd be cool if it ended at 1,000 chapters for One Piece. Pretty hardcore and pretty cool. All this is looking great, Eric. Thanks, Robert. No, I don't like that. Nice work so far. Thanks, Zeno. Just gonna bring her chin in a little. Make it a little bit softer. Did I put a collar on her? It looks like I did. I'm gonna give her a collar. I'll give her one kind of like what Choosy's got on. Let me just look at Choosy real quick. Okay, sounds good. Plus, this is my 69th live stream. So, I gotta make her look a little sexy. Man, 69 and OC week? That's hilarious. Just look at how this girl's top is. Oh, it's not spiked out. There we go. Let's look at it a little more. It connects back here. Very robotic. Come in. There we go. Oh no, wrong button. There we go. Okay. I get that. Line down. So I decided is rather than just having like a little heart drawn on her, I'm gonna make like the top of her uniform look like the top of a heart, and the bottom of her uniform connect as if it's like the bottom part, you know, of the heart. So I'll have this connect like that, and then I'll have this come in and go like this. It's not actually connected. So that would be like her skin that you'd see with the heart. So I can go with the bathing suit nature of the other character, of Hirumi. Of course I'm going to give her a skirt. It's like a really short one. The most revealing I've drawn Starla so far was her as a Battle Chatelaine. Battle Chatelaines. You love them so much. Did you pick up some of the cards of the Battle Chatelaines for the TCG? Like the card game of Pokemon? I got a few of them. I think I have like 2. I don't even really play the Pokemon card game. I mean, I do sometimes. Like, the game's super fun. I just don't have time to play it, so... But I do collect a lot of the trainer cards. I'm gonna make it pleated. Pleated definitely makes things just a little kinkier than just an open regular dress, unless I made it like a pencil one. Do this because there's pink around the edges. Let's just leave it like that. Never really got interested in the TCG. The card game, it's fun. Like, actually playing the game is pretty fun. I had a good, like, I mean, I had fun, like, I had a good time learning how to play it and everything like that. But you need, like, people to play with. It's very simplistic. Like, when it's your turn, it's your turn. Like, nobody else gets to do anything. But the cards are really pretty, especially, like, well, the full art trainer cards are awesome. And just the full art Pokemon cards, some of them are really cool, too. Let me just check this out real quick. So this drawing is going to be a lot sketchier than my usual ones. My base sketch is already far sketchier than all my base sketches in the past. But it allows me to add more detail in the next hour than doing something that's like final and really cleaned up. Alright, let me just check out Choosy's hands real quick. Okay. I wrote a first chapter to a webcomic manga, but all the artists that offered to collaborate with me don't draw in the art style I want. I wonder what I should do. Do you know anyone who'd be interested? Sorry, Zoo. I don't know anybody. Like, I keep pretty tight with a lot of the artist community, but all of the community that I keep in touch with are people that like to make their own comic. Like, me doing my own comic is kind of what led to that, you know? So I mean, I don't know anybody that's looking for work in doing other people's like stories. I mean, plus I don't know if you've got like a budget. I mean, well, that's definitely something that'll help. I mean, if you want to collaborate with someone, then man, it's a lot harder because you need to find an artist that literally loves to draw but doesn't have any ideas and wants to work with somebody to make something happen the same way that you do. Now, it's not possible to find people like this. It's very, very difficult. I gotta be honest, usually it's like someone you'll grow up with. Like one of your good friends when you're growing up, and then they're like, I love to draw, I love to write. And then you guys kind of just do things together, and that's how most of the time it happens like that. That's how you find the person. I don't want to sound like super depressing about it, like it's impossible, because seriously, you can. Like, but you might want to. Man, I don't even know where you would look for something like that. Like, go to conventions, see people that are drawing a lot of stuff, maybe fan art, and aren't particularly drawing their own comic. Because if you go up to people that draw their own comic, I'm telling you right now, they're not going to say yes. They're going to be like, no, I'm working on my own comic. Because I get it all the time. I get people that are always like, yo, Eric, come work on my comic with me. And I'm just like, I'm working on my comic, man, and I have so many people that are like, help me work on a board game, help me work on a mobile game, help me work on a video game, and I'm just like, man, I would love to. It sounds like fun, but every second I spend doing somebody else's stuff is seconds I'm not spending doing my own. So that it's just prolongs the amount of time it's going to take me to finish my comic, and I'm not. I've got 10 years left to finish my comic. I'm going to be 45 by the time I'm done. That is old. Oh man, I sure hope that I can enjoy my fame and fortune at that point and not be struggling all the way from now until then. Although I don't think I will be. My wife's pretty amazing at painting, and it's only a matter of time before she ends up having like massive galleries and stuff like that all over the place, like with her artwork in it. And I'm not just like saying that, like she's really, really, really good. There's also Zeta, who I'm still working on this reference sheet. I'll try to complete it before the start of October. Sounds good, Zeno. Yep, but of course, the good artists take money. Ha ha ha. Yeah, so you gotta pay them, and I don't know how much they're gonna charge per page and stuff like that. Like, I have one colleague that literally hires his artists to do all of his interior work, and it looks nice, you know, like it's pretty well done. So I don't know, you could always try something like that. But again, you're gonna meet them at conventions. That's what I told him, and that's where he ended up meeting the guy. He went to like the Montreal Comic Con one year, talked to every single artist there. Then he went to something called a Otakuthon. It's kind of like Anime North. It's like a big anime convention. Talked to a bunch of people there, and then he found the one he wanted, and he was looking more for like comic book art style. So he found his man to help him with his thing, or woman. I don't know if it's a girl that no, it's a guy. It's a guy that draws it. Never mind. Come on, legs. Nice and long. I love long legs. All because of Sailor Moon. Like, and in my comic, I have a hard time drawing long legs. I normally draw like really long bodies, and these days I'm trying to work on it so I can draw longer legs. Like, I bought like a really nice anime statue that has really long legs on it. Well, two of them actually. So I keep them next to me to remind myself that I like my legs to be longer than my torsos. And this is looking pretty cool so far. I'm just gonna make this feel like a little more robotic here. Alright, there's also this 3-panel comic I'm working on featuring the main 3 Persona 5 girls. My current struggles, heads and fingers. Oh man, then just keep doing it. Like, you should grab your sketchbook, Zeno, and seriously just draw like, well, you know what I'm going to tell you to do? Like, this is really, really useful, okay? So what you start off by doing is you find like an artist that you really love their art style and just trace their heads and trace their fingers like crazy. Just trace, 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 trace. Now, rule number one about tracing, don't ever, I shouldn't have to tell you this, but I'm going to say it anyway for other people that are watching. When you're tracing stuff, it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the artist that you're tracing it from. So don't ever knock it off as your own. Don't ever sell it. Don't ever be like, yeah, check out what I can do. All you do is you grab your sketchbook, trace a million times, like put a drawing under there and just trace it. Like, I don't know, maybe like a good 20 times the head until it looks really nice and you're really good at just tracing it. And once you've mastered tracing it, then what you're going to do is you're going to take it, put it in front of you, and then you're going to copy it. And when you're done copying it like a good 20, 25 times, then you'll be pretty decent at drawing that art style of face or whatever. And that's when, like, slowly but surely, the more you start adding styles and you start tracing like this other people's art styles, you'll end up kind of finding what you like. You'll be like, okay, well, I love these kind of eyes, but I love these kind of hands, but I love I love this kind of facial feature, or I like the way this person draws their lips. So you're gonna end up like getting pretty good doing things like that, and you'll end up designing your own style based off of that. So that's like the best kind of advice I can give you for learning how to draw things like that. Let's bring it all the way down. That'd be nice. And, you know, like fingers and things like that, that's just practice. Like, you can either use yours, or again, you can do the same thing that I just said. Find like an artist that like has some really nice hands and just keep drawing it over and over again. At one point you'll get the hang of it, and then, and you know what, doing like hands and fingers isn't so bad either. Like, well, for tracing and then copying that art style. Just because it's less obvious, I'm gonna say. Like, the way certain people draw their faces or even their main body structures and stuff like that can be very obvious. But when it comes to like drawing like hands and fingers, not everybody, like, a lot of people draw it similar because there's not really like different types of ways of doing it. I don't know how to express that. I don't know how to explain that. You know, like when you look at like hands drawn by like 10 different people, um, they usually look the same. Like, either it'll be, if you're going to draw something that's like manga, it'll be more simplistic. If you're going to draw comics, you might add extra details to it that, like, everybody who draws comics is going to draw it very similarly. Like, unless you love to do your cross hatching or your shading, which is like filling in blacks for shading, like, that's really on you. And again, there's so many art styles that do it like that. But your body structures and your faces and your eyes and things like that, that at that point you're going to get a style. Let's see here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's put 6 over here. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh man, and 6 can go like here. Alright, now I gotta do this girl's tail and her wings. No, actually, I just want to do something here first. Let's come here and just erase this. But yeah, Zoo, finding an artist to help you do your thing is going to be tough, man. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of work making your own comic too, so you got to know that. You know, like I kind of just learned everything because I wanted to tell my own stories, and there's no way I was going to find somebody to do it for me. So at that point I was like, okay, well, here we go. And it's just years of practice. How did this get so big? What brush is this? Oh, never mind. I clicked on a button by mistake. There we go. Yeah, but your comic is still very popular on Webtoons, so it's worth it. Oh man, I wish my comic would be popular at Webtoons. I think I have like 100 and like something followers right now on it. I mean, that's cool, but man, if I could get my comic to be popular, like if I get my comic to be like in the thousands, that would be amazing. I'm contemplating if I should keep posting more of my comic on Webtoons. Like so far I've done quite a bit, and I'm just like I'm catching up to where I'm at, and people buy my comic. So it's not fair for the people that buy my comic if I'm going to post everything for free on Webtoons, because not everybody understands that reading it on Webtoons and owning the real thing is not the same. Like the real thing, my pages are structured to be like printed, so it looks way nicer. I add tons of extra details and things like that you're going to see that you don't really see on Webtoons. And also I always put a sketch in all my books when someone buys one. So I really try to make it worth it while to buy my hard copy to my comic over Webtoons. But again, not everybody notices these things, and if you're going to spend money on it, so I put like the first 4 chapters, and I'm not sure if I should put the 5th one. Like it's so much work for me to do these comics, and like no joke, like I'm not getting anything out of it. Like I haven't had a single extra Patreon follower. Nobody's helping me pay for things. So my own comic that I'm trying to make popular and trying to make my life, I can't. So I can't work on it as hard as I would like to. You know, like I have to keep working a part-time job, because I need that part-time job in order to help afford things. And of course Patreon helps a little, but I really don't have a lot of Patreon followers. So like in a whole year of Patreon, I basically save all the money I make on that. So I end up using it to pay to go to like a convention, like to pay for my table like a year later. And it won't necessarily pay for everything for that convention. It'll just pay for like just the table, nothing else, and then I have to get all my other expenses. Like I'm not like some crazy popular Patreon person at all, and I was hoping Webtoons might help with that. But the thing is that nobody wants to pay for anything, right? Like we're in like this weird funk in society at the moment, especially with art, where people are like, I shouldn't have to pay for that. I can get everything I want for free. And I can't agree with that, because I spend so many hours working on my comic that, look, if I was rich and I didn't have to worry about anything, I would give it for free. And I am giving it for free right now. It's just that it's so hard. It's so hard. And so because Webtoons is not really supporting anything or helping me out with this, I'm just like, I'm just worried about it. Like, I feel like I might have to stop doing it, and like soon. Like, I haven't posted my 5th issue yet, and I'm supposed to like get it ready today so that it'll be prepped for Saturday, and I'm just thinking, what's the point? You know, like, I don't have enough followers on it, and none of them support me. Although, like, I can't, you know, like, none of they, like, it's nice to like follow me and tell other people if they like my comic, but I just meant like support me financially. So if I'm not able to be supported financially with Webtoons, then I have to keep working my part-time job, and at one point I'm just going to catch up with my comic in Webtoons, and then it's going to take me like a year before I can release more pages, because I don't release one single page at a time. I work on the entire issue as a whole, and then I release it, so that way I can have it edited properly and everything like that. Like, I really do things, let's just say, slow and steady wins the race. So I'm doing it like properly, like old school properly, I guess. You know, where like I'll read some Webtoons comics and there's like tons of editing issues, or maybe there'll be plot holes later on down the line because they're like, I should have thought of that beforehand, and it's like 20 pages later and you're like, oh my goodness. So because of this, I don't want that with my comic. I want my comic to be like perfect, as like a nice little, like just perfectly constructed, let's put it that way. And so that takes the time it takes, unfortunately. And it takes me a year to do that. Why do I feel so guilty when you say no one's helping you pay for anything? I'd help you out if I had the money. Oh man, Zoo, seriously, don't worry about it. Like I said, like, I'm just expressing my situation right now, that I, like, my financial situation that I have for my comic. Like, I don't expect people, like, to go around and be like, here's all my money, take it. Like, don't worry about it. Like, I'm not targeting anybody saying this sort of thing. It's just the reality of it, right? So it's just, that's just how it is. So unless I get picked up by some like big company with my comic, because here's something I found out, because I actually talked to the people at Webtoons. They were at a convention the other day, and I was like, oh my goodness, alright, so I've been on Webtoons forever. How is it that people are making a living? It turns out that all the really big comics that you see that are advertised on the front page of all of Webtoons, well, they're paid to do that. Like, they actually, okay, so there's companies in like Taiwan and in Japan and stuff, and they cover all the charges. Like, they pay their artists, and then they pay Webtoons, and then Webtoons shows them off and is like, yep, this is our artist, this is our comic. So it's kind of like, someone like me that comes off of the streets that's like, check out my comic, I will never make it on Webtoons, because I would need basically I'd need to be need it to be a miracle where everyone all of a sudden turns and starts following me, but with no advertising whatsoever, especially not from Webtoons. So it's definitely like, yo, Zoo, I'm sorry, I don't want to make you feel bad about this. Go on, man. It's just, like I said, like, it's not your fault at all. And like I said, if I could make it free for everybody, I would. Like, let's say this was like a Star Trek universe where you can just work on what you do and love what you do and it doesn't matter after that, well, dang. That's all I would do. I would just draw all day and give it out to everybody. But unfortunately, I've got my bills. My bills I gotta pay. So that's what I'm stuck with here. But yeah, so anyway, Webtoons, so there's large companies that approach Webtoons that are like, hey, these people and these comics are the ones you're going to show off on your front page. So Webtoons doesn't show off random artists on their front page. It's not like, hey, check out this new up-and-comer. That's not it at all. They've got companies that pay them money that hired these artists to do this. So that's why I'm kind of like they were even saying, look, if you want to make it with webtoons. You got to contact these Taiwan companies, show them your stuff, and if they like it, then they'll back you, and they'll be the ones that'll flip the bill and they'll pay you. But and like webtoons at that point will start like posting your stuff on a cover page, and I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to like sell my comic and my idea to like some random company. Like I'm like, I guess you could say it's kind of like a Cinderella story with me. I want to make it, and it's not that I want to make it on my own. I mean, I would love someone like a big company to show up and help me out, but the problem is that I still want to live off of my own, like, my ideas. I want it to be my thing. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to sell it. It's like, I don't want it to all of a sudden belong to another company. I don't mind them owning a part of it, but I want all creative control, and I still, like, if they make a movie or a TV show, I want to be involved with this movie or this TV show. I'm going to have a percentage of whatever they would make off of it, and so this way I can make more money, so I can just keep working on my comic even more. Like, that's the dream. But yeah, when I heard the guy tell me that, I couldn't believe it. You coming to Fantasticon? Nope, I'm not going to Fantasticon. I had gone to Fantasticon once a long time ago. I was super awesomely invited there. It was really cool. Like, I'd never been invited to a convention before, and they invited me, and it was really cool. But had they not invited me, I wouldn't have made enough to pay for the table. So that's why, because of that, I'm just like, nah. Although now I have like my own trade paperback and my comic and stuff. Like, it's easier to sell trade paperback. So maybe, like, I don't know if I'm gonna go this year, but I might go like the next one, because I think there's like 2 or 3 Fantasticons they do every now and then. So, just to finish my webtoon story super fast, I'm struggling, but it's only because, like, webtoons never gave me, like, they won't give you a chance. So I need to find out whatever other website is going to be like the new hit thing like webtoons, where they're like, yeah, we let yeah, we support like artists that aren't run by large corporations, and webtoons was like that. It's just, if you want to make money, webtoons did it. Like, I don't blame webtoons for it. Like, they want to make money. That makes total sense. Like, it's a company. I want to make money. Tired always being poor. But, yeah, so anyway, like, I don't blame them for it. They do what they're gonna do, and it makes total sense how they're doing it. It's just too bad. Because that means, like, I'll never get a sweet cover page on their Webtoons webpage that's like, yo, check this artist out. Check out this comic. Which literally makes all those comics go from being not popular to crazy popular overnight. Obviously, it's on the front page. And they put all of those ones on the front page. So, like, if I had like, 10,000 people reading my comic book, out of those 10,000 people, let's say 1% ends up following me, like, on Patreon, well, now all of a sudden I'm starting to have money to be able to pay to help support my comic. So that's, like, that would be amazing. But it's just not going to happen. It's just how it is. And because of that, that's why I'm, like, all torn about my webtoons. I don't know what I'm going to do. Those drawings are turning out pretty cool. Alright, let's get rid of, like, the back sketch. See how it looks. Alright. Earlier when you were speaking about art styles, I've been thinking of fusing manga styles to create a new art style. Fusing Bleach and Naruto's art style would definitely create something cool. Yeah, you could totally try it out, man. Like, look at the Bleach faces, try practicing drawing some of those, and then look at, like, Naruto's and do the same thing. And then at one point, you'll end up having, like, a style that you like out of it. Alright, let's get rid of this reference here. Oh, wait a minute. Let's leave it open for a second. That's pretty cool. I think we're pretty much done, y'all. Maybe I can, like, do a bit of cross-hatching here. 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 A bit over here. And then, oh man, doing it on the legs. Curses, why would I do cross-hatching? Well, Eric, you asked for this, now you have to do it. Let's make another layer so I don't mess this up and then have to erase tons of my illustration. Just it looks better to put it on the whole leg coming down. I could have like filled it in with like a black, like I'd done that in the past, but I find that adding like random color, well, it's not colored, but it's like painterly style shading on something that's heavily line art, I think it'll look nicer just doing cross hatching. And I'm not even cross hatching, I'm just hatching. Hatch, hatch, hatch. I want to date her. Who wouldn't? What's her name? Starla Choosy Hirumi. We'll call her Haruza. Haruzla. You know, like a Tesla with that sound effect? Haruzla. Oh, Haruzla. We love you. Let's add some cross-hatching here, too. Maybe a little bit here. There we go. Oh, and a bit here. Oh, and on her hat. Curses. This hat's for sure going to be a black hat. Are you kidding? If I met Starla, I wouldn't hug her. Yeah, but this isn't Starla. This is like a fusion of all of them. My life literally depends on me refusing to hug her. She's like a beware when it comes to that. I would like to put some black on her skirt too, but I think instead, dang it, I don't know. It'll get rid of my lines that I already drew in there. I don't think it's a good idea. Okay, let's get rid of my base sketch. Ooh, and sign it. I almost forgot to sign it again. Looks amazing. Thanks. Anyway, nice work. That tail frightens Zeno. Lol. This thick, thick tail. It's actually way too thick to be coming out of her body. But I know that Robert likes a thick tail. So I had to have that in there. Well, Starla does have an implant in her back. Really? This one looks like she's got implants on her chest. Badoo. Well, if it's Choosy's tail, she can change the size at will. Alright, well, we're going to keep it nice and thick on this girl. It's what mainly projects her wings, but sometimes projects other things. Alright. So I think we're done, y'all. It was a super fun session. And, I guess I'm going to see you all next week for our regular run-of-the-mill. So I'm going to take out my old sheet that I can read from to say my dearest goodbyes. And today we got to finish drawing the OC of Starla, Choosy, and Hirumi. That was fun. Hey, I have a question. Hey, I hate waiting for 5 hours. See you next time. Do you think that on my Patreon, do you think that I should have it so that, like, oh, hold on, there's something that bugs me about her chest. You think I should have it so when I give out these illustrations that I have, like, the base like character designs next to them to be like, yeah, this is what it was, and now this is what it is? Or should I just ignore that? Like, I feel like people might like that, like seeing like where I took my reference from. Anyway, I was just thinking about it because lately I've been just like I just delete my reference usually, and now I'm thinking, maybe it'd be best if I like if I always kept these next to it. You know, like I could always make them smaller. It would be nice to have both. Yeah. So maybe I could just take it and put it next to her like that kind of thing, and this way, like every time people look at this, like when I give it out on Patreon, it'll be like that. You can always crop it yourselves if you want, but it'll be next to her so everybody can see like, oh, that was the reference he used. Ha 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 ha. All right. Thus ends my live streaming session for today. Yet the real challenge begins. Listening to my 2-minute long advertisement on me, myself, and I. All links mentioned will be in the description below this video. At a young age, I realized that sleep was for suckers, and I could get way more done altogether by avoiding it altogether. I feel like I read that one improperly. Let's move on. Now that I'm older, all I want to do is sleep. I work like crazy, and with your epic support of $3 a month, that's like the price of, like, you know, when you go to like the corner store, they'll be like, hey, 2 Gatorades for $3. It's like the price of that, only for the whole month. You not only get access to high quality files with all the sketches or pinups I've completed each month, but you give me a few more minutes of rest each day. And I can't possibly express my gratitude for this. So, how about praise from a local celebrity? It is issue 69, so let's show off someone that's smexy. Hello, I'm a dark elf from the game Lineage 2. Eric knows little to nothing about me, but I look sexy and cool, so yeah. See ya. Thanks for supporting Eric. Oh, thanks Lineage 2 Dark Elf that looks sexy and cool. Some people are into old retro things, and you know who you are, you dirty sonsa. I also love old and retro things. The Super Nintendo is still my favorite console. Now hold up a second. If you would like to get access to some of these old and retro stuff and illustrations that I've done over the years, you can always find it on my Gumroad page. Now this next part is life or death important. See, I have a comic book, and it's named Blythe. Here's a picture of my trade right now. Ain't she pretty? 5 years of work, and I keep putting more. I'm working on the next one right now. So, I write it, I draw it, and I publish it. I basically everything it. I want to give it life like Frankenstein did his monster. But where my comic is my cute, sweet, precious little monster, you are all the viewers, and the beautiful electricity coursing through its veins. Thank you so much for help keeping it alive. And for those of you that would like help support Keep It Alive, please subscribe on my Webtoons page and rate it a 10 on 10. The more people that do this, maybe I can hit that 10K, and then I get super popular with it, and then all of a sudden I can make it like my life work, and I just work on that all day, every day, which would be awesome. That's the dream. Now I'm going to let you in on a secret. I have a blurry photograph of my kids from the future. Please don't ask me how I got this. I refuse to tell anybody. And with each person that subscribes and likes my YouTube videos, the photo becomes more and more clear. So help out not only me, but the space-time continuum by applying to this and also allowing little Leo, Raph, Casey, and April having an existence by hitting the subscribe and the like button. You know who else is super important to the rise of my future empire? Did I say empire? I meant fun, friendly, magical friends of the fun future. Well, it's you. Do you like sketching or drawing? What about making awesome costumes or cosplays? Well, you do some fan-related stuff to my comic Blythe, and I'll assure you a seat in my future galactic foothold! Woo! Future galactic foothold! As well as advertising your fan stuff on all my social medias. Did I say galactic foothold? I meant fun, friendly friends infinity team. Well, I have to go now, but don't forget that you deserve to have an amazing rest of your day. And I'll be seeing you.